feeling like I'm Akademiks.
So Drake's streak of having a song on the Billboard Hot 100 was ended. Let me see, where was it? Yeah, for the first time in over. Oh shit, I can't even see what I'm typing. What the fuck? All right, here we go. For the first time in, am I tripping? Huh? I just seen it. Okay. For the first time in over 2 years, there are no Drake songs or features charted in the Billboard Hot 100 this week. He's previously charted every week since April 2022. So Drake has charted literally for over 100 weeks, and you know, whether he was on a feature with someone or he had an original song, we do know in that span, I think he put out 2 albums, but he does his feature run and he's always had like a song in the Hot 100, right? Now, people are wondering, is Drake falling off? Is the run of Drake over? I do want to be very honest, and, you know, for you K-bots, don't clip me. Just get out of here. I ain't really talking to y'all. But I am going to be honest. I do think 2 things is happening. I think Drake is in an interesting period, but I do think the music industry is in an interesting period. I think the reason why Drake doesn't have a song on the Billboard Hot 100 is because Drake hasn't been entertaining or not entertaining. Well, entertaining, but that wasn't the end of the sentence. Drake ain't been fucking with his label like that. Okay? Which is kind of odd because they gave him $400 million, right? Drake has been doing his own thing ever since this whole beef with, and he's always kind of done his own thing. I'm be very fair to him. You know, I've just heard notoriously Drake hits up his label a week or 2 out saying, I'm ready to drop. And if they had other releases, they move those releases back. Unless they tell him, you know, obviously he's with Republic. If they tell him, yo, big dog, Taylor's dropping, of course, and he's rapped that, like he would change his shit. But everybody else just moves out the way for Drake. That's how he usually operates with his label. Ever since his beef with Kendrick, he's operated even less with them. Like almost like niggas moving like he's an independent artist. Now, this is the odd part of it, right? Not only is he, you know, his label has 0. And by the way, I got to give a little bit of a crash course. These guys are signed to major record labels: Drake, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Weeknd. They're going through Republic, even Nicki Minaj. As popular as these people are, and yes, if they just dropped a song right out of the blue with no planned label support or the labels, you know, enticing the DSPs to show support, they're all going to make the charts because they're that big of an artist. But to continually stay on the charts and to really get a number 1 or get songs that's in the top 40, it's a reason why, I don't know if, like back in the day, they used to have this thing called like, you know, pop music was basically top 40 music. So a song that consistently charted in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100, it was considered pop. It didn't matter the genre, it was considered pop. I'm going to tell you why. Because it was popular. Popular mean most people would know, on average, the top 40 songs that were popular in the country. Now, that definition has been eradicated by a few reasons. Number 1, you'll see some of these guys drop songs, and because it's streaming, they'll be number 3 on the charts just for the debut week. Then it'll drop to like 87, right? So a top 40 song doesn't necessarily mean it's a pop song anymore, because streaming has just changed the whole landscape of things. So let's talk about Drake again, right? It's kind of Drake could drop a song and chart. We've seen him chart. Maybe you thought he's charted a little bit lower than what you thought, because clearly we do know when he dropped Scary Hours 2, all 3 of those songs charted 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, granted, that was a planned release, but he's been doing this 100 gig thing where he's kind of like dropping music kind of through the website and through Instagram. Then it gets to DSPs. But I think his highest charting song was, I think, No Face. That was 20. That was the highest charted song. All the songs did chart. He dropped 5 songs from my belief. So SOD didn't get put up, but Circadian Rhythm, Red, Blue, Green, No Face, and what's the other one? Oh my god. It's Up, right? And am I missing another one? Yeah. No Face, Circadian Rhythm, It's Up, Red, Blue, Green, and there's a fifth one. The one with Lotto. House something. Yeah, it's still charted, right? Those are his lead songs. He's had features on a few people's. Camila Cabello, two of those. Had 2 features on Gordos. And even this new song is that like a corrido? I don't know. Like it's a Mexican artist. It's a Mexican type music, but he's featured on it. That's a feature. So he's dropped 5 lead songs, right? That had he's only peaked at 25. So let me give you a really just honest breakdown. What I really think. I think the music industry's fucked a bit. I think Drake is a little bit distant from what he hasn't committed to dropping anything, and he's testing out the waters. But it doesn't look good for him, right? It doesn't look good for him because what we have realized, and whether you want to call this a knock, and this is where the K-bots are like, we're gonna clip this. I can't wait till he say we're gonna clip it. It's fine. It's like we're watching Superman bleed. Like this is, and I hope you understand the analogy. Like, Kendrick and Drake have never been in comparison to potency on the charts. Kendrick and even Cole. They've never been compared. Like, this guy's like literally, like he's 2 or 3 times bigger than both of them. These days, we're seeing Superman bleed because we're seeing Drake as human, right? What does that mean? Without his label, without a planned release, he can't just get up like he used to do and just be like, yo, 3-pack out at midnight, run it up. And what I mean by that work, we're not talking about him being number 25, which, by the way, would be fine for every other artist. That would be amazing for every other artist. But we're talking about Drake. Drake is a guy, when he drops, we expect him to be in the top 20, top 10. Drake, at this moment, I don't think that's where he's at. And I think he's cognizant of that. Now, does it mean that if he announced an album coming for, or let's talk about the obvious, right? Because that's going to be also a testing ground, right? Him and Party Next Door. Honestly, never mind did 206 first week. What are we thinking that Drake and Party's going to do? Now, remember, Honestly Nevermind gets a pass because it's a record that's a house project, and we know Drake is a hip-hop, R&B, urban artist. Also pop artist by just sheer enormity. But what will him and Party do? Him and 21 Savage at 400. Let me ask this question. I think if Drake doesn't do 300 with him and Party, he looks human. And I have to keep saying human because Drake had a run, I would say, for since 2013. He had a 11-year run where actually really 2012, because it started with the feature run where he's issuing the stimmies, right? When my boy was issuing the stimmies, it's over. So 12-year run of seeming like he wasn't human. There's no other artist, and I mean absolutely none, in hip-hop that has been that potent. There is no Kendrick Lamar stimulus package. There is no J. Cole stimulus package. There is no even Nicki Minaj stimulus package. And when we're talking about stimulus package, I'm not saying that them being on someone's record doesn't help, but Drake has been known to bring you to the moon. Drake has been responsible for a lot of the world knowing a huge amount of artists just by how much he was doing the World Star Effect Drake Stimmy. Like, we're talking about Young Blue. We're talking about Block Boy JB. We have a list of artists that I don't even think there's any other artist in rap that even has 2 or 3. And Drake has probably close to 20. So if you think about that, and this is what I always say, because here's the thing, when I have to criticize Drake, because I do have to criticize him. Like, that's my fucking job. What do you think I'm gonna just, oh, he's just, no, I'm gonna have to criticize him when I need to. But my criticisms of Drake is saying that Drake's competition numbers wise was never Kendrick. Like, he's outclassed that guy in every way, shape, or form. J. Cole too. Drake is competing with his former self. So that's why I use the terminology where we might be watching Superman bleed. Right? We're watching Superman bleed. Because there isn't a world that we see Drake dropping a project. And by the way, he didn't drop a project this year. So it's not one of those years like he's doing a Young Boy or a Young Boy method or a what's Young Boy method, or who else who drops like multiple projects in a year, or Young Thug like method, where we would excuse Young Boy for selling 60K because we know, like, bro, he's kind of spamming right now, right? So it's not like, he's like, yo, I'm this is the only project you're gonna get. And anytime he did that for albums, we know his album sales went crazy for Young Boy. And then for Young Thug, there's a long time before he got to the point of doing like the was it No More Fun or whatever, that he wasn't really selling over 100K, right? He was just kind of like doing these 30Ks, 40Ks, or whatever, but until he started quality controlling it. If Drake and Party Next Door doesn't do 300K first week, now what's my prediction? Let's say they drop in the next month or so. Honestly, my hope would be 350 or 325. I think what happens is if Drake does 280, now granted, some of this is his own fault, right? So this is like a really complex conversation that anytime I think when people see me criticize Drake, they just start going crazy. But anytime Drake, Drake dropping a project with 21 Savage and doing 400K, he should be doing 800K. I just keep telling you, the nigga don't drop vinyls. He do nothing. The nigga he literally just, like, he's been so really red hot, lightning, white hot popping for so long time. He just throws the shit out. Travis Scott is selling everything, nigga. He's selling stickers. He's selling socks, toe separators. He's selling pocket protectors. He's selling keychains. He's selling everything, motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Because he, part of his brand is kind of showing that these numbers are, enormous, and this wave of feeling like you're in this Travis world, this astral world, if you may, is a wave that includes a lot of crazy numbers. Drake, I feel like he just doesn't give effort. So when he sold 400K with when he sold 400,000 with 21 Savage, I felt that could have been 600, 700, or 800 if he had put some effort into it, announced it properly, sell some vinyls. But he doesn't. Like, this dude's doing everything off streaming. To put things in perspective, I just want to show you something which is going to go into another point I have in a little bit. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show y'all. Which, by the way, here's the thing, too. I think definitely, I see Tyler, the Creator, announced his album. I think Tyler's going to do around 275 to 350 as well. So put it like this. Anyway, let me show you this. Jelly Roll. He's supposed to probably be number one. He's competing with Charlie XCX. He did 40,000 in streaming, and he sold 95,000 merch-related things. Rod Wave did 1,500 in merch-related things, no vinyls, and the 125,000 is streams. So Rod Wave is going to be the number one stream artist by far, right? By far on this week's Billboard charts or next week's Billboard charts, except he's probably not going to be number one. Why not? Because he didn't sell these bundles. Look, 95,000 of bundles for Jelly Roll, 55,000 for XCX. For Rod Wave, 1,500. So what you get to realize is, like, you know, even Drake don't sell shit. Travis does. That's why, like, Travis's numbers, if the whole industry did what Travis did, Drake would be still selling over 700,000 every time. Instead, Travis' last project did 500, and Drake's next project is not going to do 500 because he ain't going to do shit. He's just going, check Spotify midnight. But anyway, back to my spiel. Seeing Drake not be on the charts, but he did release 6 songs, which are solo songs. Forget the featured songs. And he released those songs in the last 2 months. It's told me that Superman could bleed. And what Superman could bleed is that Drake was the only person that we would have the conversation with to say he did not need the labels. Me and Carl Cherry, the guy who runs Rap Caviar, basically, that's my dog up there that pulled the strings up at Spotify. It's my dog. Me and him argued on my podcast about what Drake would do or be if he didn't have the labels. And Carl Cherry knew, and I knew, that Drake wasn't fucking with the labels because the nigga wasn't like, oh, hey, here's a rollout plan. Drake would just pop up a week before, 2 weeks before, and they figure out shit on the fly from him. Watching this new period of Drake not having a song on, and I know he's going to have songs on, we get it. Like, you know, but I'm just talking about how quickly some of these songs fell off. What it told me is that Superman bled because Drake needs a label. He does need the label. None of them records the label supported. And that's why they're not on the charts. But usually Drake is so hot, and also the records are so hot, that them records are there without the support of the label. Drake not having a song on the charts this week tells me he need that $400 million they gave him. He need to tap into some of their resources that they work some of these songs. And that's just the reality of it. Now, I know some of y'all are going to be like, oh my God, I can say Drake fell off. That's not true. There is only one Superman. Kendrick has never been Superman. Cole has never been Superman. Future has never been Superman. And definitely Travis Scott's never been Superman. Let me tell you what Superman means. Without any label pushing, you're dominating the charts. Drake hasn't had a full-on label campaign to push his records in years. He's been solely surviving. This is why when even people even say about bots and shit like that, it's more believable that Drake got bots than other people got bots. 100%. I'm gonna tell you from a marketing perspective. You know how I know an artist is real hot? When their team don't spend no marketing dollars. Drake don't spend no marketing dollars. Facts. Y'all go find bloggers, YouTube pages, or reaction channels that could say Republic paid them 50 bands, 20 bands, anything to market Drake's song. You can't find them. Every other artist you can. Like, respectfully. Respectfully. How do I know? Nigga, I collect the checks. And I fuck with them artists too. I won't mention their name now because I ain't, I feel like sometimes I be shitting on the people who be paying me. But Drake, young boy. Yo, I used to be, this is before Atlantic went broke. Nigga, Atlantic, I used to go up, which, by the way, for y'all little Nicki fans, don't ever, when y'all do y'all little Atlantic rant with Cardi B, I used to go through when I'm working with Atlantic, I see all their big artists. I need 10 bands, 30 bands, 40 bands from that artist. What's up? Let's go. The whole roster got to get taxed. Fuck a phantom tax. Big act tax, nigga. We're going through the whole list. You know who never had? They ain't never no budget for YB. YB don't promote us. YB, like, I think his team was just be like, just give us a $2 million in marketing. We're not spending a fucking coin. YB the hottest. He's better. He never spent a fucking coin. Everybody else got to. I know they blackballed me from Meek Mill's budget because I wanted to eat out of that shit too. It's like, oh, Meek Mill? Yo, 30 ball. 30. I need 30. Me and Meek were beefing too much. Like, I could tell, like, they would probably look stupid in the meetings with him. Like, yeah, nah, we gave your budgets to Act. What? He probably would be strangling them in there. But everybody else, I was like, all right, give me that for that, that for that, that for that. Certain artists, and for whatever reason, I could name you a few of them. And by the way, some of them are just good with media. Real talk. Some of them are just really good with media. Like 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine never paid a blog, ever. I promise you. He never paid a blog, ever. Well, his label. Because obviously it's not the artists themselves, it's his label. I'll be honest. Nicki don't, let me tell you this. Nicki's like, that's why I think Nicki, well, let me also bring it back a little bit. I think they don't use Nicki's marketing budget. And by the way, here's the thing. I'm not saying this is cool. Because when I hear, that's why I always said Nicki sounds stupid when she's like, yo, Atlantic be spending mad money buying shit. You know your label has the same budget. They're just not spending it. Like, I guess the barbs are just so lit. They didn't want to spend it. But the budget ain't supposed to be for the barbs. It's supposed to be for the people who ain't barbs that they could know what the fuck you got going on. But Nicki don't spend. Drake don't spend. I won't mention the ones that do. I'm talking about big artists here. So Nicki, and by the way, at that level, there's directives within the team, right? There's directives, like, I would imagine for Drake, we're talking about, let me not bring actual people's names, but there's probably a directive like, nah, we're already good. Like, we're good on social. Like, we don't need to be authorizing a $800,000 campaign to get lit on the blogs. We're not doing that. Like, everybody talks about us anyway. What are we doing, right? So Drake don't spend. Youngboy don't spend. Cardi don't spend, even though the label, and shout out to his label be wanting to, but they look at like, bro, he works off Mystique and he gets posted more by not doing nothing, which is like, Cardi's like the weirdest. It's the weirdest, like, you can't even use his career to like script the whole game. It's so weird. Who else? Uzi don't spend. That's facts. You ain't never gonna get no Uzi campaign going on. Who else? All right, y'all give me some names. I'm not here to call people out. I'm just here to just say the ones who don't, and yeah. So if I'm seeing the names, if I don't mention the names, and y'all know who I've seen. So if I don't mention the names, they do. Oh yeah, Kanye don't spend either. Yeah. Kanye like a hooligan. Like, Kanye would just have his manager hit you. Yo, Ye wants this. Like, yo, Ye really think he God. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ye would just say to Washington, Ye wants this. Sometimes the manager might sweeten it by like, yo, I'll sell you some shoes or something, like, bro. But yeah, Ye told me to tell you this. Ye don't. Wayne. If I don't want to air artists out, so Wayne not on that list. We're talking about current Wayne. Like we're in the age of internet right now. Like Wayne back when he was in 2008. Like I'm pretty sure, fuck no. But like now, yeah, they're gonna do a little thing to let y'all know what he's dropping. Yeah. Yeah. But, hey, y'all naming a bunch of names, they all spend. Yak don't. But I honestly think Yak don't be having a team like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like Yak don't be, and it's kind of odd because, so if I was working with Yak, I would say this to him. For whatever reason, the fans don't do the young boy shit with him, even though he's probably a greater artist than young boy just in totality, just by the work he's put in. And I love young boy too, but like the work he's put in. But I don't think fans are that thirsty for him like how young boy fans are thirsty for him. You get what I'm saying? And that's where you need a good team. By the way, there's nothing wrong with spending. Like having a good team, like, all right, I'll give one name. Like, The Weeknd does campaigns all the time, but it's never to promote music. It's just to let y'all know, like, yo, when you don't see him, he's still working. Like, yo, he just did a fucking concert with 300,000 people. Like, that's what they do it for. It's never be like, oh, no, we're trying to get sales. They don't do it for sales. Like, The Weeknd is that big, but it's just to remind people, like, yo, you haven't seen The Weeknd you haven't seen him since he was trying to diss Drake? Well, he's been performing in front of 300,000 people a night. Like, that's type of shit. Like, but he don't really go crazy on that type of stuff. Yeah, I'll get off of this topic because everybody I'll name, they're all, and they're my homies. But yeah, so I guess I said all that to say, man, I think Drake has to realize at this moment, I don't think he's in the position right now, or maybe he just hasn't given us the record, that him being so hot, he doesn't need the label to work the record. He doesn't need the label to pitch it to, or not necessarily pitch, because you don't pitch Drake's music to Spotify, but like you plan the rollout with them. You would be like, oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. And obviously his actions isn't helping because he's showing defiance. He's dropping it on his Instagram and on a website called 100 Gigs. So his next moves are going to be really interesting, but we should definitely be I'm pretty sure he got a plan going on. I have another theory, Chad. I have another theory. Drake dropping music the way he's dropping it, we're coming to the conclusion. We're like, or I said, we watched Superman bleed. An explanation could be Drake is in the midst of a renegotiation. He completed the tour. He did 3 albums within like 2.5 years, right? So from CLB all the way to the For All the Dogs. He did CLB, Her Loss, actually 4. CLB, Her Loss, Honestly Nevermind, and For All the Dogs. He did one of the longest tours. He probably is in renegotiation mode. Let me tell you this. Sometimes a tactic of renegotiation is to flirt with the idea that I might dip. I might go independent. I don't need y'all. And yes, cool. No Face debut number 25. And yeah, if I'm going to go independent, I got to go get a team to work them records. But do you know how much I'm going to make if I'm this lit and I don't re-sign? So that $400 y'all gave me last time, how about we start talking $600? Now, I know some of y'all might be like, yo, nah, Ak, you just make it up. I know this is a fact. I'm going to give y'all one little tidbit. Do y'all think it's ironic? This is all I'm going to tell you. It wasn't ironic. And I told y'all this before, too. It wasn't ironic that this Young Boy song's on my channel. Just say that. It ain't ironic. It ain't by mistake. It was to let them niggas know. Stop fucking with him. Stop fucking with him. He can still get his music out. He can still get his music out. He don't got to use his channel. Oh, I know y'all predicated on, oh, he's going to keep dropping music every 3 days. Give the nigga the bread. So I say that to y'all to say, even this, and I'm a part of this, right? It's on my channel. It's a business move. A word? Until we sign that contract, ain't nothing coming out. Ain't nothing coming out of my shit till then. What's up? I guarantee you're going to get it. Whatever you ask, I don't know how much. It's going to work. Y'all want to know Axe channel? All right, don't pay him then. They will. Drake. Let's go back to Drake. All of a sudden, he's just dropping music through this random arbitrary method. They playing with that nigga. They're playing with the nigga. So I think this will get figured out. It might even be figured out already. And I think it's going to be figured out before this album drop. Because this is just my thoughts. I haven't asked Drake about this. And I purposely don't ask him about shit like this because, I love to sit here and guesstimate. And then I can ask later to see if I was right. But what fun is this if you can't guesstimate? I think Drake is I think his deal is either up or he has one more project left, which is an option. You have to realize Drake is like an NBA player. You never let him be a free agent. Because if he's a free agent, not only is he going to really stick up the bank, he could, if the word is that Drake is a free agent, niggas would drop Atlantic already dropping mad people. Well, yeah, Atlantic dropping already mad people. They're going to try to go get that nigga. That's market share. There was a list that came out, music market share. Fuck, I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, did we post it on? They had some type of market share joint where you could see how much these artists were contributing to the overall aspect of shit. Hold on, give me a second. No. Where is it? Fuck. Hey, could somebody send it to me? I know one of my guys are watching this. It basically showed that Drake was compared to overall consumption, he was number 2, I think behind Taylor Swift. Yeah, I know what chart I'm talking about. All right, somebody go send it to me. I know. It was showing he was number 2. Let me see. Actually, yeah, Graham about to send to me. Yeah. So again, like a nigga like that, you never let me become a free agent, right? You never let him become a motherfucking free agent, right? Ever. And what I believe is that, and this is just a theory of mine. I'm telling you, well, first of all, I also don't want to ask Drake about his business. Hey, bro, are you renegotiating right now? I think Drake has one option left, or he's at an option period, and Drake is trying to gain some leverage by showing that I don't need y'all. And the numbers ain't looking like how it's looking because the label isn't really a part of what he's doing. I mean, they're usually not that much, but way more than this. Like when he's turning in a project 2 weeks before, okay, cool. Yo, all right, here's the budget for this. Yo, we're gonna work this. You want us to do this for radio? All right, cool, we're gonna try to do it. With this shit he got going on, I think he's trying to show them, yo, listen, I could possibly go independent. Give me the bread. He got 400 last time. I would be thinking he's aiming for another 100 million, 500 or 600. Give me a second. I'm about to post it. No. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's it was a consumption joint. I think it was like I think it showed him like he was like 5% of something. Fuck. I'm surprised I didn't like it literally showed the artists and what they were responsible for consumption for the entire bigger label, which was like UMG. Shit, somebody got it. Yeah, what up, yo? Who said what up to me? Is Memes around? I think Memes has sent this to me before. Hold on, I'm gonna find it, bitch. I'm gonna find this. This thing I never posted it. I know it had him at number 2. I think Taylor was number 1. Probably came out more than a week ago. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find him, man. Yeah, all right, whatever. Anyway, the point is this. You know, that's a theory of mine. Like, yes, we could acknowledge that. Like, yeah, we're watching Superman bleed, but I think Drake is using this as a negotiation tactic. The dude dropped 4 albums, went on a big ass tour. The tour ran up 300 million. The albums probably gross like. Let's just think about if Drake was on a 360. He got $400 million. The tour grossed 300 million. The 4 albums is probably gonna gross like what the hell? Who knows? Maybe 200, 300 million dollars. You know, within just a couple of years over time, it's gonna gross a lot more. You gave him 400. He's giving you a return of 700. Shit. Big dubs, right? So now when he goes back to the table, yo, check this out. I need this amount of money. I don't know. That kind of makes sense to me. I will see. Nah, chat nigga, that's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. It was like a fuck. I can't believe. Grant, I thought you had sent it to me before. Let me see. It was one like he was definitely number 2 on the list, I think, or maybe he was number 1. Yeah, why didn't I post it? Damn. I don't know. If anybody got my Instagram, just send me what you think it is. But it was showing. It was showing where these streams or not streams or whatever. What the hell? Yeah, I can't find him. Fuck it. It was basically showing that. I think it was like a Billboard chart. Or was it like Complex? No, it wasn't Complex. It was like a music news type of thing. All right. And again, it was like saying that he was responsible for like that percentage of whole consumption, which if you're thinking about like what you would sign somebody for, right? And Drake was kind of right up there with Taylor Swift. Maybe we can search it on Twitter. Maybe I can find it. No. Shit. Yeah, I can't find him. All right, whatever. All right, we'll just move on. If one of my guys see it, I know they will gladly try to send it to my attention. But yeah, so that's a way to think about it. Like, yes, Superman bled, but Drake might be protesting his label, but not protesting it because he doesn't fuck with him. It's not it's not protesting at all. Drake is trying to get some leverage to re-sign a new deal. This is deal time. You on your last option? Yo, they're not gonna let you become a free agent. They're gonna give you another deal, right? So, yeah. Somebody says, "Who's this?" I don't know. You said, "Who's the baddie?" It's me, fool. Look at me. Look at me, nigga. The fuck? All right. Okay. All right. Let me see what else is going on. Did you hear what Dame Dash is hilarious, yo. Dame Dash was trying to explain. All right, are we done with this Drake topic? Did y'all understand what I'm saying? I'll wrap it up again. Pause. Two things. I think watching Drake not make the charts with he dropped 6 songs in the last. It's watching Superman bleed. There's only one Superman, Drake Superman, right? Jay-Z's not super. Actually, Eminem is Superman too, but mostly albums. I don't think. Yeah, well, singles too. Yeah, Eminem's Superman too. Yeah, who are the Superman who like? They're just so lit. Like if they weren't, well, actually, no. Eminem ain't super because Em probably don't got a song on the charts right now. Drake is just dominating the charts. We're so used to him being on the charts. Like, look at this. Billboard 100 entries. The reason why we have this amount of like criteria for Drake, rappers. The reason why we have this criteria for Drake, look at this. Oh no, this is. Oh no, entries. Oh, right here. Oh, and this is from years ago. Grand says check DMs. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, yo, Grand, I'm telling you, man. Grand is my boy. Yeah, Grand was hard at work. Yeah, Grand. Yeah, I don't know where you got this, but this is the one. Okay. So artist market share. Like, this is where you would make your decisions on who you need to sign. You get what I'm saying? So this is for 2024, right? And I gotta zoom in a bit. Okay. So Taylor Swift is number one. Shit, how do I get? I need this a little bit bigger. Pause. How do I get this picture? Oh, it's on something called The Bag. Instagram. The Bag. Did they? Oh, yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, but I'm trying to. Okay. Fuck. Oh, I'll just zoom in right here. My bad. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about, like, these are like the big dogs, right? So for Taylor Swift, let me make it a little bit bigger. Pause. For Taylor Swift, she's 20% of Republic's entire. So Republic Music Group. So let's see who's on Republic. Drake's on Republic. Post Malone, Nicki Minaj. Republic got the big dogs, really. Like, Republic is like Nicki Minaj. Taylor Swift is 1/5 of their entire label's consumption. So let's put this in perspective. Well, obviously, she wouldn't sign the deal that Drake would sign, I believe, because she's all about this. Oh, I want to own all my masters because Scooter Braun brought my shit up. Whatever. But if she's 20% of Republic and Drake is 8%, she's twice as much as Drake. If Drake got 400, she could get 800, right? But of course, here's the thing: it's different genres. She would get 800, let's say for 4 albums, like how Drake, supposedly got 4, maybe 4 for 400. So let's put it in perspective. Yeah, when Taylor Swift dropped one album, like, she don't drop albums as frequently as Drake, even though she's been doing these, we're dropping an old album, right? But yeah, she could essentially sign $1 billion deal. She's 1/5 of the entire fucking label. Drake, and by the way, and then of Universal Music Group. So the entire Universal Music Group, she's 5%. Right? She's literally 5% of the entire thing, right? Here we go with Drake. Now, Drake is 8% of Republic. So if you have 10 Drakes, you could eliminate the rest of everybody else on Universal, which means The Weeknd, whatever, Weeknd, Taylor, everybody else, but you're not going to find 10 Drake. And obviously 1 Taylor is 2 Drakes. So I hope y'all understand. I'm trying to, I'm just talking straight numbers here. Taylor is 2 Drakes. To put it in perspective. So Taylor is 2 Drakes. Zach Bryan is on Warner. He's number 3. So Drake is number 2. Zach Bryan is on Warner, and he's 10%. So he's the big dog on Warner. Taylor, the big dog on Universal, then Drake. Then the big dog on Warner is Zach Bryan. Never heard his music, but he's a big dog, right? And overall, he's a big dog of Warner Records, 10%. But he's the big dog still of Warner Music Group at 4%. You know what I'm saying? By the way, of the whole Universal, Drake is 2%. Taylor's 5, he's 2. So again, two Taylors is 1 Drake. Then we get Morgan Wallen. And by the way, this is only for 2024. Morgan Wallen, right, he's on Republic as well. But he's 6%. Right? And then he's 1% or about 2 of Universal. Then we get, it's not Interscope, is it? Billie Eilish? She's 4% of that and 1% of Universal. Now, granted, Universal has thousands of artists, right? Kendrick happens to be 6. I think this is his highest placement ever. And his label group, his shit is actually still, I don't know why it's still folding. I thought this was PG Lang, but it's still folding up under Interscope and Geffen. They have a music group going on. I think it's Interscope Music Group, IMG. So he's 4% of Interscope and 1% of Universal. Then Luke Combs, he's 19%. What is this, though? 19% of what? Oh, this is Sony Music. So Luke Combs is the big dog on Sony Music. Or, nah, actually, yeah, Sony Music. 1.51% for the whole music entertainment group. And then 20%, so he's, he has the most market share beyond Taylor Swift for the label of this is Sony Music, what? Nashville? I can't really see it. Fuck. Post Malone, he's on Republic as well. 3% responsible for Republic's consumption, 1% for UMG. Kanye is the most impressive person on this whole list, chat. Most motherfucking impressive person. Right? They're trying to say he's Universal based on, I think he was going through food and then he went to a few other distribution hubs. But here's the thing. His music, his back catalog is still going through Def Jam. So his back catalog is still going through Def Jam. And, essentially just Yeezy label group. I don't even know how they come up with just like 22%. It just shows how dominant Kanye is. Like, I see why my nigga's getting his dick sucked on a fucking boat, right? Like, his back catalog is just eating everybody up. Pause. Like, he's just going crazy. And then his new catalog is independent, which is he's just still number one. What the fuck? Kanye is a beast. And Travis Scott, who's on Epic, he's 14% of Epic. He's a big dog over at Epic. The next person is going to be is Future. Future is definitely going to be number 2. I think Epic is going to be, well, Travis is number 1, Future number 2, and I think 21 Savage is probably going to be number 3. Okay, so cool. So 14% of that and 1% or 1.4 of Sony Music Entertainment. Then we get Eminem, who's in Interscope. Okay. Then we get SZA. Okay. Then we get The Weeknd, Republic. Then we get YoungBoy. That's crazy. YoungBoy's on Capitol. He's a big dog over at Capitol Atlantic. Well, actually, not fully the big dog at Capitol. Really, he's 1% of Capitol. He's 4% of Atlantic. So they use his catalog is split between Atlantic and Capitol, and distribution between Warner and UMG. Pretty good. So consumption wise and like market share wise, he beats even Beyonce. Beyonce's that. Okay, cool. Then we have Sabrina Carpenter. Don't really know who she is. Noah Khan, Ariana Grande. Then we have Big Future. I told you, Future is definitely going to be number 2 behind Travis Scott on Epic right here. Suicide Boys. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. I don't even really know too much of who they are, but they go through Sony Orchard. Sony Orchard means you're getting the bag. You don't see Bad Bunny, but Bad Bunny should be on this because he's also going through Sony Orchard. He's getting the fucking bag too. All right, let's see. And then, has the whole list. All right. It's a data from, is it Luminate? Year to blah, blah. And it has YoungBoy with that and Kanye with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not fucking bad at all. Not bad. YoungBoy's getting to the bag. All right, yeah. Everybody on here, these are people who, depending on how their release schedule is and, these guys could ask for significant. No one in here would be getting, if you ask me, like this would be the top 20 draft picks if you're going to start a label. So these are the top 20 draft picks in music if you're starting a label. Obviously, there's a few missing people, like, for example, Bad Bunny, but it's because Bad Bunny has this weird situation where number one, Bad Bunny's a lot of his consumption is international, but also he's through Sony Orchard, which he gets some of the highest. He gets paid very lovely, but I don't know why he's not on this list. It's probably because most of his consumption is coming from outside the United States. That's probably what it is. It's probably within the United States. I could probably look. Oh, I gotta look at it. Is that what? Albums, well, blah. It's SCA market share. I'm like turning my head type shit. Yeah, I think this is the United States. Yeah, if it's data from Luminate, going to be United States focused. Yeah, okay. So that's why Bad Bunny's not on this. But if this was globally, I think Drake might be still number 2, but Bad Bunny would definitely be right here if this was globally, 100%. Okay, I hope that made some sense to y'all. So really, if you're drafting as a label perspective, if you want to draft people to make y'all money, you would start from here. You would get the big dog. So, like having the first pick of the draft is like drafting 2 Drakes, right? You want me to compare Drake and Kendrick? Like, we like drama, right? Drake is 2 Kendricks. Okay. Yeah. So Drake is 2 Kendricks. Taylor is 2 Drakes. Just to compare their numbers, of Republic, which Republic's a bigger label, right? It's a bigger label. It's 8%. Well, is it a bigger label than the Interscope? Was Interscope Geffen? What's the last one? I forgot what it is. Okay, yeah, it's still 2%, right? 1 to 2, because both are under Universal Music Group. Kendrick is 1.1, Drake is 2.18. Yeah, 2. So 2. If you get 2 Kendricks, you equal a Drake, and it's only for this year. And probably most of that is just not like us. Let's keep it being like, who the fuck is listening to some of this shit he's putting out, right? But so if you get, for this year, Kendrick's probably most successful year since 2017. If you get 2 Kendricks, you finally get a Drake. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Who else? And that's kind of crazy if this is for 2014, because Future dropped 2 projects and Kendrick still, Kendrick has a catalog, but Future do got a hell of a catalog too. You know what's crazy? Youngboy is over Future, and Future dropped 2 albums. So technically, if we're drafting, you draft Youngboy before Future. Why? Youngboy has so much catalog. His shit's just consumed more. And by the way, yes, it counts YouTube and all that shit too. Some of y'all be like, he does not streamed on DSPs. Okay. All right then. Okay. All right. Anything else we didn't talk about, chat? Somebody said Future will surpass him by the time he gets out of jail. You know what's so funny? Like, Youngboy's catalog, even like his catalog's still gonna generate like $40 million a year for the years he's locked up, even with him not dropping music. And niggas just really, he's out of here, bro. That's one thing you could never take away from Youngboy. His work ethic has got his catalog and his fans are so loyal, they still listen to him. It's not like they're like, oh, we don't listen to the old shit no more. Like niggas still listen to 38 Baby. They're still listening to Top. They're still listening to AI Youngboy. They're still listening to a lot of his projects, and his shit is gonna do really well. So that's kind of dope. Oh shit. Oh, I like this page. I might have to follow them. Largest artist acquisition. You know all these catalogs they've been buying. You know, they bought some of Future shit for like 75 mil. That's why Future started buying all them cribs. Not that he was ever broke, but you know. Michael Jackson, 600 million. But he got it back in return half of the catalog of Sony Music, I think it was publishing. Bruce Springsteen, 500 mil. Pink Floyd, 400. Bob Dylan, 300. Okay. Yeah, we're not seeing any new ones. Never mind. We don't need to look at this one. It's fine. I love numbers. Not going to lie. Okay. Well, here we go with Cardi. All right. Anyway, anything else we didn't touch on, chat? Let me know. If not, I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll be back on tomorrow. I do appreciate y'all. We got to get back in a regular swing of streaming consistently. That's gonna be the goal. We missed 3 days, so I know we lost some momentum. So the whole point is to just get back on track with daily streams, banging out 5-6 hours, and keep doing that until it's vacation time for me, which is end of the year. All right. Anything else I'm missing? WNBA finals? What the fuck? Imagine me watching the WNBA finals. Watching motherfucking Angel Reese go like this, throwing the ball over her head. Like, come on, bro. Talk about young Philly. I'll do it tomorrow. Remind me to talk about young Philly tomorrow. There are a lot of updates, but I want to be really responsible to every side involved. And, you know, I'm not a propaganda machine, so I just want to be very, responsible about that. Because I've seen some new information come out, which I don't want to just be like, no, he's definitely innocent now. Or I don't want to, shame a victim. Or I want to be kind of careful with that. So we'll talk about young Philly tomorrow. I'll give you an update on that if you guys care. Little Reese that gets sentenced. I'll talk about his case a little bit. And hopefully we can get that lawyer on tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Young Philly is someone who is in this international group, which is like, if you ever heard about the Sidemen with like KSI, they had something called the Beta Squad, which is like an upcoming group like the Sidemen, which is hugely popular, right? KSI is like the leader of that. And one of their members supposedly got arrested, or not supposedly, did get arrested for alleged R-word, and yeah, that's where we are with that. Okay? All right, people, love y'all. I am getting off of here, man. I will see y'all tomorrow. I appreciate y'all.